Hello, good morning to everybody in the US. Good afternoon, good evening for others on the other side of the world in India and other places. Welcome to our Pravachana Malika talk number 33. We are going to have a talk on the topic of Genesis and importance of Dharba grass and Krishnajina, deer skin in rituals. We're very excited to invite our featured speaker, Dr. Puddupalli Raghava, who is a scientist and Vedic scholar. And we have a number of people helping with the program today. So we'll start with the Veda Kusumanjali and then the Sagitanjali.
Namaskaram, Prabhakar garu.
Namaskaram. And then we'll have my father Prabhakar introduce the speaker, and then we'll have remarks by Sri Ramachandra Sharma, Purushottam Garu, and then Dr. Kruba will give the vote of thanks. So with that, I invite Ravindra Garu, please, if you can start with the invocation.
You are mute.
Shri Gurubhyo Namah Hari Om Bhadram Karne Vishnuyama Deva Bhadram Pashe Maksha Bhirya Jatra Sirairangai Suštuvagum Sastanubhi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swastina Indro Vruddhashrava Swasti nः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ अग्नेनय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठां ते नम उक्तिं विधेम ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ आ ब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवर्चसि जायताम् आ राष्ट्रे राजन्यः शूर इषव्यो दिव्य आदि महारथो जायताम् दोग्ध्रीधेनुर्वोढा नड्वान् आशुः पुरन्दर्योषा जिष्णुरथेष्टा सभेयो युवा अस्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायताम् निकामे निकामेनः पर्जन्यो न वर्षतु फलवत्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्तां योगक्षेमो नः कल्पेताम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मामा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः చెప్పమంటారండి
చెప్పండి చెప్పండి
Continue the invocation, yes.
ఓకే
రుద్రుడు.
ఓం హర 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 ఓం నమః సోమాయ చ రుద్రాయ చ నమస్తామ్రాయ చ అరుణాయ చ నమః శంగాయ చ పశుపతయే చ నమ ఉగ్రాయ చ భీమాయ చ नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयते च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शंभवे च मयो भवे च नमः शंकराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आचार्याय च लाज्याय च नमः षष्प्याय च फेन्याय च नमः तिकत्याय च प्रवाक्याय च ओम शांति शांति शांति.
Nice. And our Ravindra will continue with the Sangeeta Anjali also. Please go ahead.
Sure, sir. Yeah. Tandanana hi tandanana pure tandanana bhala tandanana bhala tandanana bhala tandanana బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే తందనానాహి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా కందువగు హీనాధికములిందు లేవు అందరికి శ్రీహరే అంతరాత్మా కందువగు హీనాధికములిందు లేవు అందరికి శ్రీహరే అంతరాత్మా ఇందులో జంతు కులమంతా ఒకటే అందరికి శ్రీహరే అంతరాత్మా ఇందులో జంతు కులమంతా ఒకటే అందరికి శ్రీహరే అంతరాత్మ హరే అంతరాత్మ శ్రీహరే అంతరాత్మ తందనానాహి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా నిండార రాజు నిద్రించు నిద్రయునొకటే అండనే బంటు నిద్రాదియునొకటే నిండార రాజు నిద్రించు నిద్రయునొకటే అండనే బంటు నిద్రాదియునొకటే మెండైన బ్రాహ్మణుడు మెట్టు భూమి ఒకటే చండాలుడుండేటి సరి భూమి ఒకటే మెండైన బ్రాహ్మణుడు మెట్టు భూమి ఒకటే చండాలుడుండేటి సరి భూమి ఒకటే తందనానాహి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా కడగి ఏనుగు మీద కాయు ఎండొకటే పుడమి శునకము మీద పొలయు ఎండొకటే కడలి ఏనుగు మీద కాయు ఎండొకటే పుడమి శునకము మీద పొలయు ఎండొకటే కడు పుణ్యులను పాప కర్ములను సరిగా వజడయు శ్రీ వెంకటేశ్వరు నామమొకటే కడు పుణ్యులను పాప కర్ములను సరిగా వజడయు శ్రీ వెంకటేశ్వరు నామమొకటే తందనానాహి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా భలా తందనానా బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే పర బ్రహ్మమొక్కటే తందనానాహి తందనానా పురే తందనానా భలా 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 తందనానా.
Thank you very much, Prasad.
Yeah, thank you, Ravindra. Very, very wonderful. You have shown multiple talents today, which is amazing. So happy to hear your voice and chanting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would now like to have my father, Dr. Prabhakar, introduce the topic and the speaker.
Thank you very much. Now, we have today very important, interesting talk on Dharba grass, also on Krishnajina, the deer skin. And this is most, all people use them. But these days, Krishnajina may be not using, but in ancient houses and older people, they may be having Krishnajinam. And also in ashrama, some Swamijis also use Krishnajinam. And I have a story to tell about Krishnajinam that I will tell you at the end. And Krishnajinam is very important because of all the animals' skin or hide that is being used for ritual eminence and also for asana, seating. Seating is most important. So what kind of seat you should choose to make meditation or spiritual practices, etc. The first best is the Krishnajinam. Then next best is the Darbhasanam. Next best is the Vastrasanam. Next best is like that. We have got always the order being prescribed. But Krishnajinam has the prime one, and that we are able to get some ideas. And moreover, Darbha grass, because it's also a grass, and our speaker today is a good botanist and zoologist and a scientist, and he knows. And but at the same time, he is aware of our Vedic references and all that. So I thought we should have him to talk on the Darbha grass, and you will just enjoy it. And our Buddupalli Raghava Garu, well, he's already a familiar speaker, writer, contributor, etc. So much not introducing him. He knows himself, and we all know about him. And next also we have got our Ramachandra Sharma, who is also a software IT personnel. But right from his young days, his parents and grandparents have put him also into the Vedic Dharma, made him also a Purohit. That is something like when you say, when Yajurveda we say, Adhyayana, Adhyapana. See, Yajana, Yajana, Dana, Pratikriti, Shatkarma. So the Yajana and Yajana, both our Ramachandra Sharma has picked up, and he is a contribution to the world of Vedic wisdom and Vedic practices. And next we have got Purushottam also. He is also deeply interested, though there are software people. Engineers are doing a lot of good work to the Sanskrit and wisdom and all that. Next we have got also Kiruba Krishna Swami. She's a food engineer in Missouri, and she is also a contributor to our Vedachana Kendra. So with the combination of all these people, we would have rich information, knowledge, and instruction regarding these two things. Not talking more, I request our Raghava Garu to just begin his talk and also delight us all. Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Gananantva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrunvanutibhis Sida Sadanam Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitriyavatu Ano Divo Bruhatah Parvatada Saraswati Ejata Gantu Yagyam Havan Devi Jujushana Gritachi Shagman no Vacha Mushati Srunotu Justo Vacho Bhuyasam Justo Vachaspataye Devi Vak Yadvacho Madhumattasmin Madha Swaha Saraswatyai Sri Vagdevyai Namaha. My pranams at the lotus feet of Sri Sungeri Sharda Parameshwari, and I would like to start as Professor Prabhakar sir said that the genesis and importance of Dharba grass and Krishnajina, that is the deer skin, in the rituals. So, two major mantras that there are several mantras in Krishna Yajurveda, especially because it is connected to the Yajurveda, it is connected to the all yajnas and yagas. So there are several mantras on Dharba grass, but the major mantras that are revealed in the Taittiriya Brahmana, for me, I felt like that. So that is Pavitram Vai Darbhaha Prachinam Barhe Pradesham Pruthivyah. So these two mantras are connected, are revealed in the Taittiriya Brahmana. So this is one of the latest publication that I have done on the traditional knowledge of Vedic grasses and their significance and medicinal uses. So there are more than 25 Vedic grasses that are described in the major samhitas of Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda too, because of their medicinal importance. So grasses play a major role in the life of development of mankind. We all know without grasses, we can't live. How? We can see this here. So the grasses revealed in the Vedic texts can be classified into wild grasses, cereal, and millet crops. The cereal and millet crops revealed in the Vedic texts are still being cultivated by our farmers across the world for the utilization by mankind and cattle on day-to-day basis as food and fodder, respectively. The grass ikshu, that is sugarcane, is used to produce sugar and ethanol. They occupy significant position in the many traditional medicines, including Ayurveda. There are several potential grasses that produce grass oil, which are used in Indian medical systems. The descriptions of these grasses, their ritualistic and medicinal significances, as revealed in the Vedic texts, are described in this particular very recent publication that has come out in the Indian Journal of Traditional Knowledge. So how anybody can identify a grass, the Dharba grass especially? The Vedic grass Dharba occurs as a wild grass and belongs to the grass family, everybody knows. The botanical name of the grass is called Desmostachya bipinnata, and it belongs to the family earlier Graminae. Now it is called as Poaceae according to the International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. It is generally 2 feet tall and is thin and pointed at the top. It is extremely tough to touch because of its that is trichomes that are present as thorns, but not thorn. And if pulled the wrong way, it will cut the skin, definitely. The grass is tall, you can see in this figure, tufted, leafy, perennial grass, branching from the base, erect, from a stout creeping root stalk, which is below the ground. The Atharva Veda described the Dharba grass as to be rich in roots, that is Bhuri Moola. I have given the reference also there, mantra reference also I have given. Atharva Veda to possess 1,000 leaves, that is Sahasra Parna, and 100 stalks, that is called a Shatakanda, that is also in the Atharva Veda that I have taken. And you can see how the spikelet of this particular grass and how the flower looks like, how the seed looks like, all these things are given here. And the grass Dharba is also called as Kusha. Barhis is considered sacred in the Sanatana Dharma and is traditionally used in many religious rites, which we all know very well. Darbha grass is also known as Punjilaha in the Vedic texts, especially the Taittiriya Samhita. The word Punjula denotes a bundle of grass or stalks, especially the Darbha. To none other grass that name has been given. Punjula is given to only Dharba. It is revealed in the Taittiriya Samhita, 6th Kanda, 1st Anuvaka, and 1st Mantra. So, first Prashna, 1st Anuvaka, and 7th Mantra. And also the same one has given in the Taittiriya Brahmana also. Thus, in several mantras of Vedic texts, the Darbha is also called Kurcha, used for cleaning the Yajna Vedi. So Yajna Vedi, we don't use any of the for broomsticks or anything, but Darbha itself, because it is so sacred, we will see how sacred it is in the next coming slides. So how do we reap Darbha? So the Vedas state that the Dharba is an embodiment of Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, the Trinity. Lord Brahma, the creator, is stationed at the root. Lord Vishnu, the protector, in the middle lamina. Lord Shiva, the destroyer, at the top of the Dharba. Hence making it significant in all Hindu rituals. That is the major reason why we use Darbha for our rituals. Special care should be taken in its utilization, right from sharpening knife used to cut the Dharba grass, and specific mantras or liturgies are chanted at every step. Even Krishna Paramatma has chanted these mantras while he went to forest to cut the Dharba on his Guru Sandipani. So Krishna Paramatma also chanted mantras while cutting the Dharba. So Darbha grass is collected only on Krishna Paksha Padhyami, that is day before yesterday it was over, by reciting mantras from the Yajurveda Samhita. So how the origin of Darbha has happened? The origin of Darbha is described in the Taittiriya Brahmana. This legend also appears in the Taittiriya Samhita, and also it is supported by the Shatapatha Brahmana also. How it is? It is stated thus: Indra killed Vritra in the vicinity of water. Water has two kinds of specific powers, that is human and divine. Of this human, Manusha, the power cleanses the organs of elimination, etc. of the human body. And the divine, Daiva, is of two kinds, purifying the human bodies by ablution and purifying the ritualistic utensils by sprinkling. Following the death of Vritra, the divine power of the water came onto the earth and turned into Darbha grass. That is how it is originated I am not telling, but the Taittiriya Samhita and Taittiriya Brahmana has really revealed this particular story in the Vedas. So maybe because of its origin from the divine power, Darbha is considered as sacred and purifier. So the Darbha or sacred grass is extensively used in not only India, but also across the world for thousands of years in various ritualistic practices. Because our Indians have settled at America and other places, we are now using there also the Darbha. And that in the Taittiriya Brahmana, the mantra reveals Pavitram vai Darbhaha, meaning Darbha itself is sacred. The word Darbha is derived from the grammatical root words Dr plus Bha, Drinati, Vidarayati, Diryate, Va, meaning torn to be, torn apart, and 6 darbhas, the leaves. So, we all know that we use Pavitram while doing any ritual, whether it is auspicious or inauspicious Vedic ritual, we use Pavitram. It is absolutely necessary to wear a sacrificial ring, that is the Pavitram. A ring or knot made up of Darbha grass, which is worn on the 4th or ring finger while performing either auspicious or inauspicious Vedic ritual or ceremony. The following is the mantra that is recited while wearing the Pavitram, that is the sacrificial ring. Pavitravantah parivajamasate Pitaisham pratno abhirakshati vratam Mahassamudram varunastiro dadhe Dhira ichhe kuddharaneshwarabham Pavitrante vitatam brahmanaspate Prabhurgatra. Like this it will come in the Aruna Prashna, which we chant, and you can read this particular mantra and the wonderful Tatparya that was given by Professor Prabhakar sir in his Aruna Prashna book, which I would say it is Veda Grantha, not book. Book means it is a small one for me. It is Pavitram because Veda Grantha is Pavitram. Book is nothing, something which we children will write all these things on this. So you can see this how in the Somayaga, so the Ritviks perform the Somayaga for the sake of rain, having an abundance of rice and animals for human and animals. Brahma, the savior of legendary man, preserves the karmas. Later, Varuna Devata, the lord of waters, will be pleased for the performance of the yajna, which causes the rain, spreading the clouds across the sky and pouring rain. So here I have given the pictures of both Darbha made up of sacrificial rings, that is Pavitram, and also the gold, what is that? It is Darbha Mudi, it is called as Darbha knot. That particular ring has. So, but I prefer most of the time prepared during the ritual time by the Purohit, and or you yourself can do that sacrificial ring Pavitram to your 4th finger of your right hand. So, Darbha in Sri Rudram. Several people know by this time the Sri Rudram and chanting. The term Seshpa is revealed in the Sri Rudra Namaka Prashna as Namashashpyaya cha Phenyaya cha. Shashpyaya cha, it is in 4-5, Taittiriya Samhita 458. It is also mentioned in the Vaivi Samhitas, other Samhitas like Vajasneya Samhita, Rigveda Brahmana, and that is Aitareya Brahmana, and the Yajurveda Brahmanas like SB, that is Shatapatha Brahmana, and it denotes as young or sprouting grass. But I like Shayanacharya's commentary. It's a wonderful commentary. Shayanacharya, in his commentary on Taittiriya Samhita, mentioned that Shashpa means a just born Dharba grass on the banks of the Ganga river. By this time, we all know that how sacred is our Ganga river and how sacred is our Dharba. So the Dharba born, that is growing on the banks of the Ganga river. This is a substantial statement on the pavitrata, that is the sacredness of the Dharba grass being born on the banks of the most sacred Ganga river of our country. So the great people like MacDonald and Keith, in their book of Vedic Index of Names and Subjects, in the volume 2, they also mentioned it as a young or sprouting grass. So you can just see how Shayanacharya has given the pavitrata for this pavitram, for that Dharba grass. So Namah Shashpyaya cha Phenyaya cha. Phenya means that is the froth that comes on the river or samudra, ocean. So that is Phenya. Shashpya means Dharba grass. So Dharba in Atharva Veda. In the Atharva Veda Saunika Samhita, Dharba is revealed in the Kanda 19, Sukta 28 as a separate hymn called Dharba Manihi. This ritual herb is described in 10 mantras. And its medicinal usage also it is given in the Atharva Veda. It is mentioned that this special hymn is used for calming of anger as an amulet for protection against the scattering one's hair or the striking of one's breast, and for destruction of enemies. So that is also in Atharva Veda it is described. That is the magical part of the mantra it comes under. So we all know that we use Dharba in our Hindu rituals, and without usage of Dharba, there are no Hindu rituals. Absolutely. It is mainly used during the Prana Pratishta, Punyahavachana, and many other rituals. You can see in those pictures. And in scientifically, during the eclipse time, Dharba grass is used during Surya Grahana and Chandra Grahana, and is highly recommended to place pieces of Dharba on all the items of the house, including home temples, that is our prayer rooms, that we do not want to be negatively affected by during the eclipse time. Dharba is traditionally used to protect cooked foods from toxic radiation during eclipse. During eclipses, the atmosphere is full of toxic radiation. That is the reason, major reason. It is said that cooked food kept during an eclipse time will become toxic. That's why we don't use. Several people, they will just throw the rest of the remained food after eclipse. If cooked foods are covered in a container and Dharba grass kept on the top, the Dharba will shield the food from toxic rays. It is nothing but trust. You do not have trust, you cannot use again. One should have the trust on the Dharba that it will protect me It will protect my family. The grass aids in providing protection from harmful radiation and all forms of negative energy. It is believed that Dharba grass helps in retaining energy during meditation from being discharged through our body, mostly through legs and toes, into the ground when such a mat is used underneath us. So this is the one of the major things that Dharba is absolutely important. Tarpana Vidhi. So there are two things. There is no God. The only God is father and mother. No. Whether God is there or not, we don't know, because I have not seen. But I believe in Veda. And parents are the first, as we all know very well. So parents are the first gods. And we have to do some kritagnyata. That kritagnyata is nothing but, sir, if you do only like this, then only the kritagnyata? Okay. Then what you will do? Tell me. Have you served your parents? Tarpanam is a very simple yet powerful water ritual which is done for our gods, sages. How many sages, how much literature has given to us? Aditya Hrudayam, for example, Aruna Prashna, these are all the great sages have given us, the ancestors, by offering them food, rice, water, and black sesame seeds, and seek their blessings. So, three kinds of tarpana: Deva tarpana, Rishi tarpana, Pitru tarpana. So, three tarpanas are absolutely important, which we do on every Amavasya. Through this ritual, we can clear energy blocks and the negativity and invoke the energies of our ancestors, as well as thanking them for giving us the body that we use for our sadhana for the next life or no life at all. It is the moksha. Pitru Tarpanam is usually done for the departed ancestors, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, brothers, paternal and maternal uncles and others. Karunya Tarpanam is performed for other departed relatives, friends, mentors, strangers, pets, creatures, trees, plants, and any other life form that you wish to honor and pray for. So you can see how the Dharba is arranged. There is a particular fashion that one has to arrange that Dharba during this Pitru Tarpanam is given in several Vedic texts and Shrauta Sutras. So Dharba mats, just now Professor Prabhakar sir said, in various yajnas and ritvik, and the ritviks, priests, yajamana, that is sacrificer, his wife will sit on the mats woven with Dharba grass only. Kusha grass is specifically mentioned by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita as part of the ideal seat for meditation. So he has given us a caution and he has given us a suggestion to the human beings that Shuchau, Deshau, Pratistapya. So this particular chapter 6, mantra 11, to practice yoga, one should make asana. Just now Professor Prabhakar Garu said, that is seat, asana, in a sanctified place by placing kusha grass, deer skin, and a cloth one over the other and the asana should be neither too high nor too low. So I don't want to give too much of information here, but a mat of kusha grass provides temperature insulation, because this is scientific, from the ground, akin to the yoga mats of today. The deer skin atop it deters poisonous pests and like snakes, scorpions from approaching while one is absorbed in the meditation in the forest and other places. That is the reason the Dharba grass is used for a particular purpose, and Krishna Paramatma has said in his Bhagavad Gita. So there is a Dharba festival that is done by the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, Tirumala, the forest department of TTD, with a designated team of people, will cut the Dharba on the hills of the Tirumala. You just see how the Dharba is protected there. Nobody can enter that other than those forest department people. Special care is taken to grow and cut this sacred grass. So you see how much Dharba is used during the Brahmotsava time. Usually, this sacred grass, dried grass, mat, and thread are revered to be divine and have a very significant role to play in the TTD temple festivals for Paramatma, Venkateshwara Paramatma. The Dharba mats and ropes are prepared by a team of experts, knitting the same with utmost devotion. While handing over the prepared mats and ropes to the temple priests, the TTD conducts it as a Dharba festival. So the Dharba mat is Dhwajarohanam, which is a particular festival which is done on the evening of the before the Brahmotsava starts, is 6 feet width and 22 feet in length, while the Dharba rope is 200 feet in length and is tied aloft Dvajastambham during the annual Brahmotsavam in Sri Venkateshwara temple, Tirumala. So this is all written in the what is that? Vaikhanasa text. Based on that, this is prescribed. You can see the pictures here, how they are bringing these Dharba mats in the Tirumala and the rope, and they will pray for that. They will put that at Venkateshwara and pray, and then they hand over these things to the priests, and then the priests will keep at the Utsava place to the Brahmotsavam to take place. So my next 2 or 3 slides are on the Krishnajina, which is very important, as Professor Prabhakar sir said. So Krishnajinam is a Vedic Sanskrit compound consisting of terms like Krishna, that is black. It is exactly not black, as Brahmasri Chaganti Koteswara Garu has said. It is the time where in the rainy season, how the clouds will be black. That color, that gray color of Krishna, and Ajina means skin. So the skin of the black antelope is known as Krishnajinam. It is the symbol of Vedic culture and holiness. The Shatapatha Brahmana compares Yajna to a black antelope with white, black, and yellow hair, representing the Rigveda, Samaveda, and Yajurveda, respectively. White is for Rigveda, black is for Samaveda, yellow hair is Yajurveda. So, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Paramatma himself said that he is Samaveda and he likes Samaveda. In the Vedas, it is described as where the black antelopes roam freely. The skin was used as an upper garment. The hide of the black bug, Krishnajinam, is deemed to be sacred in Hinduism. According to the scriptures, it is to be sat upon only by the Ritviks, sadhus, and yogis, forest dwellers, and bhikshus. After the ritual bath, the boy is dressed as an ascetic and brought before his guru, personal spiritual guide, who invests him with the deer skin to use as an upper garment, a staff, and a sacred thread, that is Yajñopavitam, are also called as Upavita. I'm sorry that I have put this one in Telugu, because there is a Shubha invitation for the Upanayana. I will tell Krishnajinam Dharba Mayincha, Upanayana Shubha Patrika Shlokam. So how that sloka has to be there? So sloka has to be Krishnajinam Darbhamayicha Maunji Palasha Danda. Danda is Palasha Vruksha branch. And Paridhana Shati Yajñopavitancha Dishastu Nityam Vatoschirayu Shubhakirti Vidyaha. What it tells is that Krishnajinka charmamu, that is Krishnajinka skin, munja darbhalato, that is with darbha. It is made up of vaddanamu, means that is below the stomach, how the boy will be tied with that. And the moduka karra, that is beautia monosperma, that is moduga, that branch. And that angavastramu, which he is wearing here, the boy is wearing the yellow angavastramu, Zandhyamu, it is the indication that the parents have performed him the Upanayana. Nityamuga vatuki chirayuni, shubhani, kirtini, vidyalani, not just vidya. Vidya means, in lexicon language, Vidya means only Veda. So rest are all this intermediate, BE, all these things, MTech, PhD, all these things are worldly education, which does not fit for anything. But the Veda Vidya, that will really give tremendous importance for that particular boy, and he will be blessed with that. And you can see how this Krishnajina is from this is Krishna Jinka, that is Krishna deer, and this is that skin. And some kind of people, they use with the skin of spots. But as per Veda, it is described only like this, because of the one which I had told you, is that because of white Rig Veda, black Samaveda, and yellow hair is Yajurveda. So I will stop here, and this is how the importance of both Krishnajinam as well as the Darbha, its origin, its usage, in a very brief manner that I could present here in this forum. And I thank Professor Prabhakar sir for his constant encouragement to me as my father, as my guru. Father is first. So father, guru, and I really thank him for all the time blessing me and my family. And my pranams at his feet. Thank you so much.
బొడ్డుపల్లి గారు చాలా బాగా చెప్పారండి. మాలాంటి ఏమీ తెలియని వాళ్ళకి చక్కని వివరణ ఇచ్చారు. ఎంతెంతో వర్క్ చేశారు దాని గురించి, అన్ని కోణాల నుంచి కూడా చాలా చక్కగా నెరేట్ చేశారు. ఐఎమ్ సో హ్యాపీ అండి.
థ్యాంక్స్ అమ్మ.
నమస్కారం అండి.
థ్యాంక్స్ అమ్మ. అమ్మ బాగున్నారా మీరు?
బాగున్నాను తండ్రి.
So great. See, a scientist searching for the important details, putting the search engine or searchlight into that, and we are able to we are able to get very important and pointful information regarding these two aspects which are used in the rituals. That is Dharba grass and then Krishnajina. So regarding Dharba grass, somebody put a question. I don't know. The question is to Raghava Garu answer whether the Dharba could be used in Sandhya Vandanam. The Deepta, whether the Dharba is used in Sandhya Vandanam or only in when?
It is very well used, but during the still the Sampradayak people, they still use the Dharba during Sandhyavandanam time every day, but Kalakramena it has become with the time passing, so it is stopped. Several people have not are not using. For that matter, I don't use Dharba while doing Sandhyavandanam for sure. But I particularly use when I do any kind of abhishekam or anything, at least on a day-to-day basis, I will use the sacrificial ring during that time.
Yeah, that's one thing. Of course, we have Ramachandrudu. Later, I just finished my little comments and then come to Ramachandrudu. He is just a highly knowledgeable person also. So during the, I talking about Dharba, of course, we have shown that gold ring, Dharba, Mudiungaramu antam.
Mudiungaram.
Always అన్ని చోట్ల దర్భ దొరకదు, పురోహితులు దొరకరు. దొరికినా కూడా ఆ దర్భతో వాళ్ళు ఉంగరం చేయడం కూడా కష్టంగా ఉంటుంది. మాకు చెప్పిస్తారు, రాదు కూడా. సో దెర్ ఆర్ సమ్ డిఫికల్టీస్. బట్ ఐ వాజ్ ఇంట్రడ్యూస్ టు ది దర్భ ఉంగరం made of silver. And I purchased one in Old Market, Bangalore for 25 rupees long years back. After the death of my father, my cousin brother took me to the shop and you use that Dharba. So that's the first Dharba ring I used. And afterwards I was given, I just you got one Dharba ring done. And later on, when my Shashtipurti Shanti took place, all Veda Adhyayana Kendra students, I have prepared one Dharba. I never know that they prepared another Dharba ring, gold one. And presented it to me on my Shashtipurti day. I should acknowledge all my Vedic students at that time. So many students. And so that's how the Dharba ring. So normally we use that Dharba ring. And of course, as Raghava says, that Dharba grass ring is best. We can't get always the best. At least better we should go, or good we should go. And therefore, that is about Dharba ring and Dharba grass, and it is richly grown, and it's a grass, but also the origin has been given about the Dharba. And I don't have anything to comment on Dharba because Pavitravantaha Parivajam Asate, as is quoted in Bhagavad, that Parivajam is the all kind of prosperity, all kind of wealth, all kind of purity, everything. So Parivajam is a wonderful Sanskrit Vedic word. And again, you have mentioned about the others, MacDonald and Keith. They are Sishyas. MacDonald is the professor, Keith is the Sishya, as I was told by my professor. So that both of them have done, because MacDonald is one after Max Muller who wrote first history of Vedic literature. Because actually our people did not know to think of writing a history as such of the Vedic or Sanskrit literature, but these European scholars and others, they started in 1824 or so. The first history of Sanskrit literature was written by Max Muller. And afterwards, looking at the foreigners writing the history of the modern literature, then we have one C.V. Vaidya, a Maharashtrian scholar, and others now, and Krishnamacharya book on history. So why I'm talking is everything has got history, and to know the history of this grass, the Dharba grass or anything like that, is a most important thing, so that the value we realize, the devotion towards that we realize, and then we practice it in our own things. And of course, I don't have anything Dharba grass. And one more point about this Krishnajinam. And Krishnajinam, as very well explained, there is a mantra, Ruksamayoho Samsthe Stha. In Agnihotra, first of all, anything that is taken into the context of performing sacrifice, it has to be purified and accepted as a devata. In Ajurveda or in sacrifice, Yava istuyate savai devata. So whatever you praise in the context of sacrifice becomes a devata. So Krishnajinam is a devata. And in olden days, nowadays I don't know, the things have all changed, but cannot be ignored. Any Vatu who is introduced to the Yagnopavita Dharana, that Yagnopavitam will have a small piece of Krishnajinam tied to that. Our Ramachandra Sarma also will attest it also. So when I had my Yagnopavitam given long back, I remember that small Yagnopavitam containing the small bit, something like the tailor who gives the pant or shirt. He just gives a sample of that, so you can definitely identify. So for the sake of identification, and asanam and all that has got to be remembered, and that's one thing in practice. And another thing I want to tell about Krishnajinam is when I was traveling to Delhi, there was one foreigner, American, who came all the way to India in those days, probably 90s, I should talk, 80s and 90s. And that fellow was sitting on Krishnajinam in the reserved bed.
Tree. Oh.
So I was just wondering why at all he's sitting on the Krishnajinam so sentimental. Then he just went out and then came. I took it and probably I sat on the Krishnajinam. Immediately that foreigner came and told, no, sir, you should never touch this and you should not sit on it. It's exclusively for me. This is Krishnajinam blessed by Sevabala Yogi.
Oh.
And I am not allowing anybody. I sit and do meditation and all the spiritual practices on that. An American. And he said also, I came to Bangalore to meet Sevabala Yogi, but I was told he's in Dehradun. So I am now going to Dehradun from Delhi, and there I want to meet Sevabala Yogi. So imagine, not Indians, people far away from the Bharat have got the vibrations importance, and they wanted to sanctify, re-sanctify or renew that. So that way, thank you very much. So I remember now when our Raghava is telling about the Dharba, about the Krishnajinam, and and Krishna Mruga is the Sadhu Jantu. It's
Sadhu.
a pure vegetarian. And again, it is very much conscious of the sound, unless you familiarize. And in Krishna Mruga, we get a lot of description in Abhignana Shakuntalam. So, Nivaraha Sukagarbha Kota. So there, Griva Bhanga Bhiramam Muhuranupatatis Yandane Baddha Drushtihi Pachadhena Pravishtaha Sarapatana Bhayat Bhuyasa Purnakayam Darbhair Arthavalidhaihi. So Darbhair Arthavalidhaihi. Probably it eats only Darbha. So Krishnajinam. And it goes out for grazing and picks up Dharba grass and keeps eating. And because there was some chase and fear, half of the Dharba is hanging down the mouth and half in the mouth. And that is the kind of fear. But again and again, it wants to chew the Dharba full. So Kriva Bhanga Abhiramam. It was turning its neck back and checking how much distance is there between the king chasing, because they're all going for hunting. So a beautiful description about Krishna Mruga and all that we find in by the poets and classical Sanskrit. So And that's one thing about Krishnajinam. And so when we sit on the Krishnajinam, then we are supposed to inherit all that spiritual, vegetarian, and sattvic temperament in us, reduce the anger. In fact, he has said to reduce the anger, we have to drink. The Dharba will also help to cow down our anger and all that. We don't know, so many units are there. Actually, Dharba itself is a big subject. Krishnajina itself is a oceanic subject. But within a span of 45 or 50 minutes, our Raghava Garu has given salient features of all that. And another point I want to tell you, how foreigners are very much interested to know many things about our Indian. In fact, we have got in our Kendra also many students coming from outside India, spending time to learn our Veda and note the importance of it. And sometime in 80s, I think, so I remember, because I'm not speaking about myself, an American lady wanted to get some manuscript read out and explained to her, connected to our Vedic text. Then she came, and for about a month or so, she was regular, and I used to help her to decipher that Sanskrit slokas and all that. And when she was leaving the country, what she did, she somehow presented me a Darbhasanam. For the first time, I remember. The Darbhasanam she gave me, sir, you use it for your purposes. So I used to say that was the first introduction. I don't know before. Because we are slowly learn. Our course of journey is interesting. So that's how Darbhasanam came. And Darbha, when, especially in North India, when we go, Darbha is plentifully grown. And I'm so happy that in Tirupati, Tirumala Hills, the Darbha festival are in Tirumala being done. That's a news to us. And how much care is being done. And our Ramakrishna is having the backdrop, Darbha himself. He's a Pavitra. So he'll talk about it. So not much talking about this Darbha and Darbhamani and moreover, another thing is Shashpriyayacha, Penyayacha. So the Shashpriya and Penya, Rudra stays in that. That's why our Ravindra Garu said, sir, can I recite these two things? Because in our their Sai center, they everyday recite. Is a great devotee to Sai culture and all that. So, Satya Sai Baba. So that's Shashpriyayacha, Penyayacha. And even Ramachandra also, on one morning, remembered the meaning of the Shashpriya, Penyayacha and contributed an article to our Veda Ganga and also to our Vedanasarit. And so we don't know what inspires whom at what instance, and so whether morning or so our Vedic world is so vast, and whatever little knowledge we can gain is the gain that we would be having. And we have got here another great person, Rajgopalan from Epsis, and he is also a devotee, but he is very much interested to learn Rudram and Namahanyasam. And so we don't know what attracts them. Age is not important for learning Vedas. Any time, anywhere, anyhow, that Paramatma should give the Arjun side, because Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara stay in us, and therefore it's a very wonderful time that we are having time on Dharba and grass. In fact, the Yajna Sambharas, accessories, and in Sautakosha by Dr. Kashikar, our Guru, research guide, I'm so lucky in this birth to be his student ultimately, and Sontake. These two they have brought out Veda Kosha, and in 2 volumes, and so they give everything about the ritual, because that's most important. Through ritual only we can grow and we can become pure and we can get moksha. Yajna yajnam gaccha swaha, yajna patim gaccha swaha, like that. So that last we say that yajna yajnam gaccha swaha, yajna patim gaccha swaha, mam gaccha swaha, etc. So is swaha swaha kara, so this is a mystic word. We have all that. So not much my comments. I ask Sri Sarmagaru to make comments on this Darbha grass. I'm happy that he is able to make some time to be with us.
నమస్కారం గురుగారు. శివాది శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. గురు బ్రహ్మ గురు విష్ణు గురు దేవో మహేశ్వరః గురు సాక్షాత్ పరం బ్రహ్మ తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః. శ్రీ మహాగణాధిపతయే నమః. శ్రీ మహాసరస్వత్యై నమః. శ్రీ జగద్గురుభ్యో నమః. శ్రీ శివాది శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. హరి ఓం. First of all, I would like to thank Shri Guru Garu, and then with my, to his lotus feet, my pranam. So he always give me opportunity to contribute something in this kind of wider forum. Like I'm the least educated and the least qualified to talk anything. But thing is, because of your blessings, only in 2014, the first time I met, so you have given me and then directed me towards a different path altogether. And then um, that gave me a wonderful experience as Guru Garu. It's all because of your blessings only. And thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about it. And coming to the point, actually, Sri Raghava Boddupalli Garu has covered a very interesting topic today, because this is the very essential part of our spiritual sadhana. I can say that it's a day-to-day sadhana. That's I use sadhana word for any kind of practice henceforth, because that is what we have meant. Whether it is a ritualistic, or whether it is a yogic, or whether it is a meditation, or whether it is whatever any other aspects of which was described and prescribed in the Vedic procedures. So all are part of sadhana only. If you are chanting stotras also, that is a kind of sadhana. So like this, whatever the sadhana you do, there are some basics to be followed to experience the fruits of that sadhana. And the very basic of that one is the asana. The asana is which asana that you are sitting, that makes a huge difference. That's what signifies the Kshetrasagar Madhana, when the Mandara Parvata is about to drown. So when Devatas and then Asuras make a prayer to Lord Vishnu, Bhagavan Vishnu, and then he attains the form of like Kurma, and then it lifts up the Mandara. The Mandara represents the Meru, the Meru Danda of, that means like a spine, and then that requires a base, a strong base, that is called Adharam. That Adharam, the Shakti will be provided by Ganesha. Tam Mooladhare Sthitos Nityam. That Ganesha Shakti is appearing in the Kurma. That Kurma represents the asana. That asana, unless you sit on the asana, that Mooladhara Shakti cannot be stable. Unless it is first of all stable, it cannot be awakened. It will not be awakened at all, and then it will not be controlled also. It is very dangerous. Actually, there are several modern schools, without knowing the understanding the fine and the subtle aspects, they say different kind of practices, and that they'll jump, they'll do all these kind of irregular things, which will spoil the sadhaka for years and then for several janmas. So leaving that apart, but the very base for any sadhana is sitting, that is asana. For the asana, you need to have some protection force, some material which is made out of some certain materials. Those materials also prescribed very clearly in the Vedas. That was very well explained by Raghava Garu. So one is Krishnajina, another one is Darbhasanam. These two plays a vital role in any kind of sadhana, whether it's a ritualistic sadhana or whether it is yogic practices. Because the reason behind for this one is Darbha, there are 3 items which is mentioned in the Vedas, which are very powerful to absorb the cosmic energy. The Prana Shakti, we call it as a Prana Shakti. That Prana Shakti, which is triggered due to chanting of the mantras or shlokas or stotras, whatever. So the Prana Shakti will be receiving from the universe through sun, Surya. That Prana Shakti will be absorbed by mainly 3 items. One is Jalam, one is Darbha, second one is Darbha, third one is Bhaspam. So that's why like we use all 3 items very very widely in any kind of ritual, especially the Jalam and Darbha. If you read through Ramayanam also, there are some examples. When Hanuman enters into the Lanka, he watches some Brahmanas holding the Darbhas and then Sarpisha. Sarpisha means mustards, and then walking around. Those protects, those Darbha and then Sarpisha will protect the particular area from the Dushta Shaktis. Any Shaktis will be entering into that one, right? The Darbha will be acting like a barrier. The reason for the Darbha to be used as an asana also here, when the spiritual sadhaka is doing the sadhana, the Mooladhara Shakti will be slowly awakened. It will be in the sleeping position initially. That should be awakened. How it will be awakened is either through pranayama yogic practices, or when you are in a stable position. When you are doing a ritual through mantras or anything, the energy starts awaken up. When it is being awakened up, right, the energy should not be grounded. But when you are not sitting on the anything asana, then energy will be grounded. Even when you are speaking with any important topics also, there should be asana. That's what it is clearly mentioned in the Kishkinda Kanda, when Sugriva meets Sri Rama, and then Hanuma and then Sugriva meets Sri Rama in a cave. They will not find any asanas there. Then what Hanuman brings is, he plucks out some Arjuna Vriksha branches and then give it as an asana to both Shri Ramanta and Lakshmana and then Sugriva. They will be sitting on the asana. The reason for that one is, when you are even speaking or like doing anything, when your walk is coming out, that means the words are coming out, that becomes like energy. Especially when it is important talks also, there should be an asana. So that shows the significance of asana, and then the significance of specific material to be used for that asana also can be understood through these kind of Puranic and then Itihasas, right? So for that one, he has explained about the various kinds of Dharba also, mainly Dharba, and then we have Krishnajina. Coming to the Dharba part, he has covered a very interesting topic that there are 25 different kind of grasses listed in the Yajurveda. That's a very interesting topic actually. But widely, as per the Smriti Grandhas, we use 10 out of 25, right? We use 10 different kind of grasses. That means Darbhas. That is called Kushaha, Kasha Yava Durvaha, Vishwamitra Shakuntikaha, Vrihi Shyamaka Nivaraha, Maunji Darbhaha, Prakirtitaha. There are 10 kind of Darbhas to be used in the rituals, which was clearly mentioned is, that one is, he has already covered that Kusha, Barihi and the Darbha. These are the three wide varieties of Darbhas to be used. One will be like a sharp knife, another two will be used in the homas. Those will be like a soft kind of thing. That is what you can find the difference in the Pitrukaryas. One kind of Darbha will be used, and then in a homas, one kind of Darbha will be used. The Darbha to be used in the Pitrukaryas, it will be very sharp. It like acts like a knife. The Darbha which is used in the homas, that will be very soft, and then the same thing can be found. And then there is another one we called as Maunji. He has mentioned about the Upanayam Shlokan, right? Krishnajanam Darbhamaincha Maunji Phalashadanda Paridhana Shathe. Right? That Maunji is also, it is not made out of this Kusha grass. That is made out of a special grass which is available, and if you traveling in the Tirumala hills, right, there will be a bunch of like kind of small Darbha will be there. This much only length. 2 Pradeshas it will be there. 2 Pradeshas means like one Pradesha is like one Vitastya. With this Pramana, with this one, 2 Pradeshas hardly it will be having it. That will be very soft and then very nice. Those kind of grass is called as Maunji. With that one, they'll be making a thread kind of thing, and then they'll be using as a Katisutram. I don't know what do you call it in the English. That is called Molatradu. That will be very much important for a Brahmachari. So with that will be made out of special grass which is called as Maunji. Like this, there are Kushaha, Kasha, Barihas, and then Maunji. These are the 4 different grass that will be used widely in the rituals. When you are not getting any of these four, right? Then what is the alternative? That also mentioned. One is Yava. Yava means barley grass. Then when there are Vishwamitraha, Shakuntikaha, 2 different grass were there. We could not find out, figure out what is the grass, and then maybe that was become like an extent kind of thing. And then another one is Vrihi. Vrihi means rice grass. And then Shyamaka, that is called little millet, we call it as Samalu or Samalu, we call it as in Telugu. And then that is called a little millet. So that grass can be used. Nivaraha, that is also a kind of rice variety which is available in grows in the forests. That grass can be used. Yeah.
Wild rice grows in Assam only. It is endemic. It is endemic.
Okay, that one. So these are the grass can be used for all the rituals. And then why there is importance, very importance given for the Darbha, especially Darbha not only used as a mat, one thing. Second thing, for every ritual without Darbha there is nothing. And then he has covered also then what kind of rituals that can be used. One is Deva Yajnam, all the Devatas related one, Yajnas, Yagas, all these things also, there is a Darbha used. And then a Pitru Yajnas also Darbha is used. And he has given with very good examples of how it will be used. And then on top of that thing, the pindas will be put everything. Why that much importance was given? The first thing is, he has given an interesting story about Vritrasura that came from the Veda. And then there is in the Puranic, Vishnu Purana, there is another story. Dharba grass has been came to earth when Yajnavaraha Swami was trying to lift the earth and from the waters, the deep waters, while fighting with the Hiranyaksha. So there was some friction happened with his skin and then Hiranyaksha's what do you call that, gada, maze. So that time some of the hair has been fallen from the Yajnavaraha and then fallen onto earth. That becomes like a grass. That's why there is a very much importance given for the Darbha. And then another one is some malam also. Malam means the skin, the kind of, it is a kind of dust particles from the skin that is also fallen onto them. That becomes like a tila. So tila and then Darbha. That's why these two becomes the utmost important things in the Pitrakaryas. And then the Pitrakaryas also, we always call it as Govinda, 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 Narayana, 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 Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. The entire Pitrakaryam is Pitrayajnam is, we call and Narayana is the supremo for that one. So because the things came from the Narayana and then given used for the Narayana. That's why Darbha has been given that much importance. That's one thing. From coming to the scientifically saying, right, as I said earlier, Darbha, while coming using as a asana or using as this one, when you are using Darbha as a asana for the pinda, that is asana, that protects the energy to be not to be grounded actually. It is, and then same Darbha will be used during the eclipse times also. So why we should be covered as part of under the Darbha? That means it protects the earth from the severe radiations, negative radiations or excessive radiations. So we always get the sunlight or moonlight something. But thing is, why there is a specific time was given for the during the eclipse time. Eclipse time means the radiation will be significantly higher and higher. Our skin or our mind will not be able to absorb or use it in a positive way for that kind of thing. That's the reason why it has to be protected. Darbha will act as a layer for that one between the negative energies or excessive energy and then to us. And the same thing, it protects us from not to lose our Mooladhara energy to be grounded. That's why we use Darbha as a protector for the roof, Darbha as a protector for asana also. And then Darbha, and then as I said, right, highest conductive material. Conductive material means it's not like normal current, right? It is a spiritual current. Spiritual current or prana shakti, cosmic current. That's why we use Darbha for touching everything while during the ritual, right? So we use the pavitram, and then with that pavitram, there is Agnimukham Karyam, something will be there as a preparatory activity for any yajnam. For that one also we use Darbha. And then with the Darbha, we do pavitram for the, we do purify all the items and then all the habits to be offered to the Agnihotra through Darbha. That's the one thing. That means we are energizing, literally energizing each and every material and then purifying it. For that purpose also Darbha is used. And then he has covered those points also very well. And in addition to that thing, the very much important and then very well new topic that he has covered is the Darbha to be used in the TTD based on the Vaikhana Sagamam. Because it is, I was very much fascinated that 6 feet of width and then 22 feet of length and then 200 feet of Darbha rope. I know about the 200 feet of the Darbha rope because during the Pratishtha time, right, we do cover because we cannot touch the, while doing the Prana Pratishtha, right, we have to invoke the Prana Pratishtha mantra at the same time in the Shikharam and the Murti and the Dhwajam also. So it is like a right angle triangle, exactly, like this. So how do you touch at the same time? So what we'll be doing is, as a Ritviks, we'll cover this Murti with the Darbha rope to the Dvajastambam, from the Dvajastambam to Shikharam, again Darbha rope, and then from the Shikharam to this Murti with the Darbha rope we'll cover. So there is a connection established between this one, so that one after another during the main Muhurta, it is a main Murti will be doing the Prana Pratishtha. After that one will come and go to the next places. But thing is that Muhurta will be sufficient. This Prana Shakti will be transferred from here to here, Dhwajastambam from here to Shikharam also. The same thing will be done during the Kumbhabhishekam also. You can see that in Karnataka temples, they'll be performing these kind of rituals. It's a very interesting one. That's another one. And coming to, actually, while Dharba, right, during that one, any karyas, he has mentioned about the Dharba rings, right? Dharba rings, and then instead of that, if Dharba ring is not available, and then we can use the gold. We need to understand the reason why. So we understand the reason for using as a asana, using as a roof. Now, and then using as a instrument kind of thing to touch all the items and all. But why? What is the purpose of like wearing this ring? Our body is made out of like Prithvi Tattva. Whatever we see, right? Everything is Prithvi Tattva. This is the main base to have the other tattvas. Like we have a Jala Tattva which is flowing as a blood. Imagine there is no body, no flesh in the body, no bones. Where will be the blood flows? No. And then there is blood, and then Agni Tattva is also there that keeps us body warmth throughout as long as we live, right? If there is no Prithvi Tattva, where does Agni will be stay? So as the Vayu also, we have Vayu. Each and every cell will be having oxygen. That oxygen will be like burning and then producing the energy, right? That everyone knows that. And then we have Akash Tattva, which is Manas. So imagine there is no Prithvi Tattva. That means no body, no Upadhi. So where will all these other tattvas gone? Everything will be disappeared. So Prithvi Tattva is the base for everything, right? So when the Prithvi Tattva represents in your 5 fingers, this Anamika represents the Prithvi Tattva. If anybody knows the yoga, right, Hatha Yoga, they will be knowing it. This Anamika it represents the Prithvi Tattva. So this Prithvi Tattva is to be protected all the time from any kind of excessive energies or anything, and negative energies also. Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. This is the tagline of AIMS. We have, right, AIMS, Delhi. That is a thing. Indeed, body is the instrument to perform the dharma. So we have to always protect it, and then there are several rules are there to how to protect your body in Ayurveda and everywhere. So while doing the rituals, there is a chance of because of chanting the mantras or exposing to the Agni, or sometime there will be some irregularities may happen. That energy might damage this particular person. If this person is not a spiritual seeker, or very much like practitioner, regular practitioner. For example, if any Brahmagara is there, if anybody is performing the homa, they say the Ritvik will stay very close to the Agni, even doing the Purnahita. When there is a 6 feet or a 10 feet Agni also there, he'll be able to bear it. But thing is, the Yajamani or somebody else, they'll not be able to go very much close to the Agni, but except the Ritvik. How Ritviks are able to do that? Because of mantras, they'll be protecting, and pranayama that will be protecting. Similarly, there will be some fluctuations in the energy. That energy will be regulated and then protected by wearing this ring, and then on the ring finger. That is the main reason. And then instead, when you are not able to find it out, usually it is prescribed to wear a gold ring instead of Darbha. Gold also highest conductivity. When you have, Pranashakti, highest conductivity of the Pranashakti. It's not only highest conductivity of the Pranashakti, as we all know. So it is the highest conductive material also. That's why like we use gold in the satellites, right? No other materials will be used. In the chips making and then satellites everywhere, like gold will be used. That's the reason why. Either Darbha ring should be wear, or else gold ring should be wear. That's why like we always protect this Prithvi Tattva from any external things. And then it always helps us absorbing the more Pranashakti. That helps us, strengthening our body so that the mind and other things will be controlled. That's one of the reason I would like to cover. And leaving this, next topic he has covered is also Krishnajina. Krishnajina also, it's one of the, it is a protector, and then it prevents the spiritual energy, same Mooladhara Chakra energy, to be grounded. And also actually the Harinam, that called in Sanskrit as the Krishna, the antelope is called as Harinam. Harinam represents for speed. And then, our mind is also compared with the Harinam also, because Harinam cannot be stable. And also it represents for fear. So Nidra, Ahara, Maithana, Bhayam, this is common. That means like sleep and food, and then fear and sex. These are the 4 common aspects across like all the animals, including the humans. Out of which Bhayam is very much important. That needs to be, that becomes like a nirbhaya for a spiritual seeker. If you are a really spiritually want to grow and then understand the Atma Tattvam, first thing you need to eliminate is fear. You should not be fear of anything, because when God is there, Ishvara is there, then why do you need to fear for everything? To avoid the fear represents by the harinam is the one of the animal which is a very scary animal. It is having a lot of fear actually. If you observe that, it always like gets fear for anything. So to get control over that one also, symbolically we can use this Krishnajina. That means you overcome the fear by sitting on it. And the same thing will be used for a tiger skin also. Tiger skin for controlling the indriyas and other things. This is one of the reason. Also, this Krishnajana, right, having a very silky kind of hair. That hair also produces the highest spiritual current spikes kind of thing. That enables and then that helps the sadhaka who is sitting on that one and then doing the meditation. That helps whatever the mantra you are chanting, right, the energy will be going upwards very quickly, because Harinam represents the speed also. It is very fast, it runs very fast, and then it jumps very easy. So that one also will be controlled by that's one of the benefit that will be using for Krishna Janam. And yeah, he has also mentioned that who are the eligible candidates for using that one, Ritviks and then Sadhus and then Atmajnana and then Vanaprasthas and then Munis, right? All these, if you, there is a commonality among this, all the Ritviks, right, whatever the mantras you are chanting, ideally the chanting of the mantras is nothing but a Brahma karma. In pranayama, in sankalpam, we say that Uttishtanto bhutapishachah etebham bharakaha etesham avirodhena Brahma karma smarve. That means whatever the karma you do, that karma, the ultimate goal of that karma is attaining the mukti and then to know the Brahman. To know the Brahman, nothing but to realize yourself. The self is nothing but the self means Atma. The Atma is nothing but the Paramatma himself. To know that one, that karma is called Brahma karma. So whatever karma, whatever ritual, everything is done, that is called that is a sadhana only, Brahma karma. That's why like they have given that. Why not specifically mentioned for other people? Why only these people? That means whoever is interested and very much sincere and then serious about learning, knowing the self, then that will be very much useful. If other persons who are into the materialistic things and then they are using this one also, it will be slight difficult to manage this energies and then this materialistic things, because materialistic things are born by rajas tamogunas, and then these spiritual things will be born by sattva gunas. So when you are sitting on the Krishna Jana, you have to leave, you have to get rid of couple of materialistic things. Then only this will be raised. Otherwise, this sattva guna will also be increased. This rajas tamoguna will also be increased. That will spoil your brain and then that will lead to unnecessary things. That's why like you have to be, they have given the specific things for that one. And yeah, this is it. Mostly like we have covered the points. Yeah, and then overall, like this is a very good topic he has covered, because with the valid references from the Veda, it's not that easy. Because trust me, because one from Shatapatha Brahmanam, one from Arunam, one from Pavitra Narayana Upanishad, some Vakyam is also there. It's an extensive task actually. And then thank you so much for Raghava Buddhavella garu for providing this valuable information. And then thank you, Guru Garu, for giving me an opportunity to talk about with my limited knowledge. Thank you so much.
The background of your picture is very nice. That Dharba with a spike, it's a flower spike and other things and leaves, very nice.
Thank you so much. This is the Maunji grass actually. In the search of Maunji grass, like recently I came across this one, because we were searching for this one for my brother's son Upanayanam. That time like we could not do that. And we came to know that in Bihar and then Uttar Pradesh area, they'll be abundantly available, this Maunji. This will be little softer than this one. But thing is, there is no, yeah, Dharba. It will be like, you know, that the jute, Janapanara, what do you call that is?
Yes.
That Janapanara jute and then Gogunara, that will be like a silky kind of thing, texture. So this will also be having that kind of texture actually. That's why like put it.
Very good.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So, Ramstar, see, the subject is interesting, very much wanted by all people. And we have a lot of ideas about it. And well, everything that you do to elevate yourself is Brahma Karma. So always Brahma Karma Samarabhe, Apaupaspusya, Pavitram Dhrutva. All these preliminary announcements are there. Pavitram Dhrutva, Pavitram Visarjya, like that. So all these Ayurvedic announcements are really interesting, and not my much talking. I'll ask Dr. Kuruba, who is in Columbia, Missouri, associate professor in the engineering department, and she has taken PhD in the food engineering also, food connected to grass only. As you know, when people do grass research, we give grass for the animals, we eat the grains of the grass. So both are benefited. And so, and what is that? So I think she has got some ideas about this grass and all that. Now, Kiruba, please.
Hari Om, everyone, and thank you so much. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Guruji, Professor Prabhagar Karyamgaru, for this opportunity, because, and also to our special speaker, Shri Buddhapalli Raghavagaru, for your enlightening us with this fascinating talk on the Vedas and the significance of Dharba grass and Krishnajina. And your insights into these profound aspect was connecting to our cultural and our spiritual heritage has truly enhanced our understanding. And continuing the compelling discussions by Sri Ramachandra Sharma Garu on Dharba grass and its sacred importance is also in different religious rituals and our daily life was engaging. Now I want to connect it with the scientific understanding. So like recently in 2015, the Center for Nanotechnology in Shastra University in Tanjavur, they conducted a study to understand why Dharba grass is very significant. So they selected 5 different grasses, including the Dharba grass, and studied about the antibiotic properties, the hydrophobicity of these grasses. So when we put these grasses under an electron microscope, like in ancient times, we didn't have this technology of understanding the structures, but now we have the scientific advancement. So when we put these grasses under the electron microscope, stunning nano patterns have an hierarchical nano and microstructures were present in Dharba grass that was not present in other grasses, like the common grass, the bamboo grass. They didn't have these nanostructures. So they were connecting that because of the presence of these nanostructures that can provide antibacterial properties and antibiotic properties. So that's a very interesting finding. And also there was a discussion related to the eclipse, why we keep Dharba grass during the eclipse on food. So as you know, naturally, we are all like, there's electromagnetic radiations around us, and inherently we have ultraviolet rays, which are, they have some disinfectant properties. That's why during the COVID, we'd have seen surfaces getting cleaned with ultraviolet A and C. So, but during eclipse, be it a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, what happens is we will not be getting, there is increased radiations, but there is decrease in the presence of ultraviolet radiations, right? So since the profiles of our light radiations are altered during the eclipse, then it can enhance the growth of microorganisms in the food, because most of our food, be it rice or curd or anything, they are all protein rich. They are a perfect source, not only for us, but also for the microorganisms, right? So when we don't have these inherent UV lights to prevent that, keeping the Dharba grass inherent because of its nanostructures, they can provide that antibacterial properties and prevent the fermentation. We don't want our food to get spoiled. And also the study revealed that presence of Dharba grass decreased the amount of bacteria in the food mattress. So it's such an interesting thing that our ancestors had the wisdom or the insights to use to select the grass which had the perfect structure and can provide this properties, and actually it's an eco-friendly natural food preservative. So and so that's something that I can connect with the cultural understanding, the spiritual understanding, and the scientific understanding of how much knowledgeable our rishis and yogis were. So that was a small insight from me, and I would finally like to express my gratitude to everyone behind the scenes, because Professor Prashad Kalyam, he makes it every event successful, coordinating and facilitating all these very important talks that are deeply appreciated. So thank you everyone for sharing your wisdom, and we look forward to hearing more enlightened talks like this. Thank you so much.
Great. So we have a good team to talk about Dharba, Krishnajina, which are under use currently also. And without Dharba, no Purohit will conduct any Brahma Karma or any ritual. And there are a number of doubts also being presented regarding Dharba and Krishnajinam. And of course, but I just want to add, when I was working in the Bangalore University, at that time, the head of department, when I just entered, he was sitting upon a goat skin on his chair. It was very fun. To say, I only observed sannyasins and maharajas using the tiger skin as their comfortable silky seat. Because present day sofas comfort was not there in older days. So they used to use some skin hide. Even Shiva also wears Gaja Charmambara, because for this kind of cold weather, this Charmambara, the hide garments are helpful. One can resist all that. That's why in cold countries, people use the jackets made of hide and all that. So he was wearing, sitting upon the goat skin. I don't Ramsundar really. Then I asked him, sir, why are you happy? We know only two charmas. That is go, and you are sitting on a goat skin. Prabhakar, I too don't know. Somebody gave me this goat skin. I'm putting it for comfort. So that's what the answer. K.T. Panduranga, I remember, he's no more. He was the head of department of Sanskrit, Bangalore University. So K.T. Panduranga was, after, when I put the question and I had a discussion, he removed that skin. He was sitting normal pillow. So I don't know if anyone can reflect on the why goat skin also is I cannot, because they don't know. And moreover, I think goat is the Vahanam of Agni Deva. So when that's also probably a generative of the energy and some kind of Shakti. And so almost the Agni could be sitting upon the Vahanam of Agni. We become Agnis themselves. I mean, whatever it is, a part of it. So maybe it is important, and how you both think, I don't know, and also about the goat skin being kept like that, but nobody uses and throws away. And another point was, sometime in Madras railway station, when I had some time to catch next train to Bangalore, I just took a walk, and there were some people who are trying to peel out the cat skin and also tan it and all those things. So we don't know. The animal skins also are used, but among all the animal hides, the best animal is the only Krishnajinam. There is no debate or discussion, debate or contestant, all that. But anyway, I'm just trying to give mention the idea that this animal's skin also is being used as a part of asana. Yes, I stop. Please tell me.
Guru Garu, sorry to interrupt you. I forgot to mention about the one of the important point about the Krishnajinam. Because if anybody has known about Panchayatana Salagramas, so Panchayatana Salagramas are meant to be, like said to be, those are the ones like born out of the rivers. And for example, Narmada, Banalingam, and then Gandaki, it is a Vishnu Salagram like this. Salagrama word can be heard. I mean, so many people would have heard about it. There are 5 different Salagramas all together, like called as a Panchayatana. When we are carrying the Panchayatana from one place to another place, that should be totally protected from all the kind of Ashochas. So the one which was mentioned is, so there is a, with the Krishnajina, there is a box to be made out of the cupboard with the Krishnajina, and then inside which Panchayatana is there. Then when you are traveling from one village to another village, when Krishnajina is there, then Panchayatana is valid. Without that, if you are carrying the Panchayatana in simple, even in the gold box also, the Panchayatana will loses its energy and then will become like a, very less power. Otherwise, like that's the salagramas, I can say that. All the salagramas should be protected like that with the Krishnajana. That shows that not only protects prevents the other energies to be entered, but thing is mainly to prevent us from all the ashauchams. That means when you are traveling out, we never know like what kind of people will be coming up. Whether it is a Jata Shaucham, anybody is born, right? That is also kind of ashaucham. Anybody is death, 11 days ashaucham should be followed, but nowadays nobody is following. And then the third one is Rajashkala ashaucham, monthly periods, 4 days, 3 days plus 1 day. All the 4 days like should be protected. When you are going out, we never know like what kind of people will be experiencing, and then that salagrama, the natural sources of energies, will be losing its energy by exposing to the ashauchams.
Ashaucham.
So that will be protected also using this Krishnajinam. So that's one of the points like I would like to cover. Yeah. That's
Very
all.
important.
correct.
You have
I
very
have seen
important.
some
You have brought it.
Kshatriyas and
That
people,
saligram.
they carry a small box, all devatas kept covered with the Krishnajinam.
Krishnajinam.
Entire
Correct, Guru Garu.
top
Yeah.
coating is there. I have seen that. I mean, you are mentioning, but
Yeah.
I've seen some Purohits and Stotriyas who do Devata Archana even when they are in travel or elsewhere. They carry the gods inside, and afterwards they. So Krishnajinam is a wonderful protective agency that
Yes,
we can always depend upon. Very nice.
Yeah.
And Purushottam garu unnara? I don't know whether Purushottam is there, and you don't know Purushottam is there, but he is also one who is. So all of you are engineers, but still trying to engineer our ancient utensils and practices and all those things. Very good. I think we can conclude. Any more to comment? Rajgopalji, if you have anything to comment, Rajgopalan, because you are also.
No, Guruji, enough is said by great masters, so I said I will keep quiet. Yeah, I enjoyed the talk.
Okay. So, and of course, the full article is already published in our Vedana Sarit in the May issue or April issue of Vedana Sarit. But the presentation is little different than, I think, than what he wrote in the article.
Yes,
so
sir.
I wish all this material also be sewed together and made an article with pictures, because this there, so that the moment you see the figure, the memory becomes really helpful and green, and it will remain also for longer time, especially the 3 photographs, Batu and Krishnajinam and all this. Because another point was, if you practice the these rituals and all that, or meditation or japa and all that, there is enhancement of the power in that. And moreover, asana by itself is very important, because you cannot do any ritual or any divine activity without. If you want to make that particular power to go to Rakshasas, then no asana. So without asana, I think Pitru Karyas are done without arthanam, and Rakshasa Karyas, that's why asanam is a very important thing that we require. So this is like that. We'll try to have a course of these sacrificial utensils, yajna sambharas, one by one, and moreover, this Krishna Kiruba has given beautifully put under the microscope, and then try to examine the whatever is there. That's really interesting. In fact, a botanist will put rose flower under microscope and try to give us the picture of the content of the rose. So rose flower has got so much of thing, but it's very good. This is good, very interesting. And how that power has been endowed into the sacred grass, which simply says sacred grass. Something like Europeans translating Uddharani. There is no Uddharani for Europeans. They simply say sacred spoon, like any tablespoon or this spoon, that spoon, but they have only sacred spoon. So anyway, and even Kamandala also is one. These are all important Indian Hindu utensils, kamandalam or dandam and all these things. We, in course of time, we would just request the scholars to come out the explanations and information about it. So this is a wonderful venue, I think, that Veda Adhyayana Kendra, Nada Veda Adhyayana Kendra, and World Association for Vedic Studies and Bangalore branch. So they are having international conference also, trying to resolve some of the Vedic concepts which are controversial, where there could be much discussion and resolutions and all those things. So with these few words, I think we can conclude. And our Kripa has given thanks to each one of us present here. And we should thank Kripa also. She's so busy. A professor in America is very busy, and hundreds of projects are there, hundreds of things are there. So we thank very much. And I want some Prasad's comment also, and then conclude with the Bhanti Mantram by our
Just one sentence, sir, Professor Prabhakar, sir. In my article that published in Traditional Knowledge of Vedic Grasses, their ritualistic and medicinal significance. In that, I have given what are all the havis that we prepare from these 25 grasses, including Yava, Nivara, and what Ramachandrudu has said. So these are all given with figures in that article that I have published, with figures, with all the 25 figures. So that I just given the link for that in this chart, and kindly use it for interested people. Thank you. Prasad, please go ahead, sir.
No, I really enjoyed your talk, and the significance of the Dharba Krishnajina in our spiritual practices. It all comes down to kind of purifying ourselves, because we are, in such environments where mentally, physically, there's so much impurity, and for the spiritual connection, purity is the most essential part. You have laid it out very nicely, given so many contexts. Every point you are giving very interesting references. Your research is amazing. You have found very excellent sources for bringing us this very rich information for this talk. Appreciate very much. And thank you, Ramchandra Sharma Garu. You're answering also some of the questions in the chat, and you gave another very extensive description to argument everything Garu said. So thank you all, and I love the paper Kiruba shared. I was just reading it now, and really well done, and that gives more validation how Sanatana Dharma, or all the practices we have, are so time tested, right? Have stood the test of time. And so thank you so much. And in the program, Nana, do you want Rajgopal Garu to do the final chanting?
Yeah. Oh, he must. He is recently very much interested learning Mahanyasam, and which is a most important thing. And Shiva will be absolutely pleased with Mahanyasam.
Rajgopal sir, if you can do an ending prayer, it'd be nice. You can chant.
Yeah, please.
Om Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Veda Purusha Asirvadam Ustu. Om Tat Sat. Shri